gay men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them, especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumb ass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her. You need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.
And Charles Perry is recorded on Christmas Eve 2023 demanding again, put Cindy in jail right now. And make sure you call the bail bondsman and tell them do not get her out until she does what we say. And he was told, I cannot make her talk to you. You cannot make her lie. And you cannot make her go with you. So what's the point? Because we all know that's what you're trying to do here. You want to take her and put her in a dungeon where she gets raped and you get money. You're a human trafficker, and we all know that. I'm not supposed to know that, but everybody knows that. And the guy was like, I'm not seeing the point. Because we can't make her lie for you. We can't make her go with you. And we can't make her talk to you. Well, I just need to talk to her. No, we can't make her talk to you. She has rights. And once you do this, you cannot undo it. Well, the Muffin Man said, I don't work for the Muffin Man. I work for the voters. So I'm not going to do this because the Muffin Man said. That word, how do I know about the Muffin Man? I'm not supposed to know anything about a Muffin Man. I know there is a Muffin Man, and that's a nickname. It's like a code word. And I knew who that is. And it doesn't carry the weight it used to, does it? One of the OHP officers that you wanted to pull me over about, 5-6 years ago, said if he was doing this to her in a bar, the bouncers would throw his ass out. So why in the hell are we putting up with this? Why are we he needs to leave her alone and act like a grown-ass man, act his age, be a professional individual. He's supposed to be a dignitary. Go home to his family and leave Cindy and her family alone. Period. What he's doing is against the law. Why are we putting up with it? She doesn't like him. She doesn't want to talk to him. She doesn't want to see him. And us harassing her for him and pulling her over is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. And I'm not going to do it. And he didn't. So how many more times have you been told no than you ever expected in your life? I shouldn't know who the Muffin Man is, but I do. He showed great disrespect in his failure to protect a woman who is a victim of domestic violence in Oklahoma, and he pissed off some very, very important people when he did that. He failed to come to the aid of a police officer in his state who very nearly gave his life in the line of duty and defend the honor of the one who did, and he is not respected anymore. A police officer, and he's not respected. So I'm sorry, but that doesn't carry the weight it used to, does it? The Muffin Man said, whoop-de-doo. Whoop-de-fucking-doo. And yet you flaunt that in everyone's face. I'm not supposed to know that you do that. I'm not supposed to know there is a code word or a person nicknamed Muffin Man, am I? But I do. I do. I know who it is. And I know that doesn't work anymore. It doesn't carry the weight it used to. Because he showed disrespect. And so he's no longer getting the respect that you wish he did. Because you're using that to try to force people to do something they don't want to do. Mr. Perry, no one invited you to Oklahoma. I moved 2 times to get away from you and never again have to hear what you think or how you feel or what you want or what you need. We're all quite sick of that. You're whining and you're nagging. You need to deliver. I made an illegal deal and I have to deliver, or it's going to cost me millions, where this woman is going to go somewhere she doesn't want to go. It'll be against her will. It's a kidnapping. It's by force. We're going to make her do it in a free country where all this is illegal. And she'll get raped. And then I'll make more money. So everybody's going to have to help me, or else. Where else what? I wasn't supposed to know I was sold. I'm not supposed to know you want an apology and a lie. I'm not supposed to know you want to mark my car. We have to find some way to mark her car. We heard you say a couple hours ago. Maybe less. You took my headlight out. I had to fix it again. It's a tail light or a headlight out. We got to have her pulled over. 3 o'clock this afternoon, we got y'all talking about having me pulled over and putting something in my car. It's been emailed out. I go out to work, headlights out. I had to fix it. How much does that cost? It's a tire, it's a headlight, it's a wreck. You illegally broke into my car. That's not your car. So you entered it illegally, and then you vandalized it again. And you got caught. I had to fix it. You did it to have me pulled over, to have my car taken away, I guess. What were they going to find in my car? And then you think that'll make me... Oh, if I can just take her car, she'll call me and this is over. What planet are you fucking on? Have you met me? I don't think you know me at all, because that's not what'll happen at all, sir. Don't run around and say, how did she find out about that? How does she know that? We've never seen this happen before. And, this has never happened. We've never had one with this much longevity. It's all different when you do it to me. And we've done it this way for 10 years. And you guys sit around and bullshit yourselves and go, well, there's nobody there. It's not humanly possible for her to get that or for her to know that. And finally somebody goes, well, I'm looking right at it. She has it, so it is. You just haven't figured out how. And I'm sure that's the intention. They don't want you to know how. You'll obstruct justice. So they're making sure you don't know that. This is a need to know. A promise was made that we will put a stop to the violation of human rights of women and children and the deprivation of their basic rights and needs, and we're keeping that promise. Muffin Man doesn't... Nobody asked him, did they? You don't beat down women and kids and think that people are going to respect you. Well, the Muffin Man said, and? The Muffin Man isn't respected. That doesn't carry the weight it used to carry. Name one of my guides. Oh, shit, you can't. Quote one of their meetings. Oh, you don't know anything they say. We quote you every day. I'm going to name your people again. Lucius, Calvin, who's bald and fat. Sonjay, your hacker. Geppetto, your witch. Beverly. Blankenship, Desiree, Richard, Dickey, Andrew, Lawrence, James, Ruben, Nisbet. Greg, Tim, Larry, Gabe, Jake or Jacob. Perry asked me today if Jake, or typed it. He types right over my typing, so sometimes I'll catch it, sometimes I don't. I've told this fuck a bazillion times. I'm not told who your leaks are. I'm not even told what they get that's from a leak and what they get that came from some sort of wiretap order or something. I'm not told that. It's a need to know. I don't need to know that. And yet he always types in my phone, is it Jim? Is it Al? Is it Jake? Is it Bethany was the new one? Bethany. I'm like, who the fuck is Bethany? Bruce, Oscar. Those are the people he's asked. Are those leaks? Is it your family? Is it your kids? Why are you talking to my family and my kids? So over and over, and we're naming your people and you can't name any of ours. And if you guys were smart, and if you were operating with a full load, you'd shit yourself that I know your name, because I've not met half of you. I've met a few, but not most of you. Then we get one. Blankenship has done as much to ruin her as Charles and Dave have because he's jealous of her. She's out copping him. Is he a cop? She's out copping him. And somebody goes, no, I don't think that she's smarter than him. I think she just has more courage. I think she's got a stronger spine. And then today someone disagreed with that. And he goes, listen, I'm going to tell you one more fucking time. He can't be governor. He can't tie his shoe by himself. He can't be dog catcher. He can't be anything. Because if he can't tell that you are caught, do you not know you're caught? If you're too stupid to know you're caught, you can't be governor or anything. And if you're too stupid to know that when you're caught, you stop. You sure as shit can't be governor. And in the third, if he doesn't know that you just don't do this crap anyway. You don't treat people this way. You don't do this to people. Anyway, he can't be governor. And by the way, I disagree with the comments made about Blankenship. I don't think he's as smart as she is. I disagree with that. Because if he was as smart as she is, he would know you don't do this to people. And you're caught. And when you're caught, stop it. You're digging yourself in a hole. And you're not getting out of this one. You're not getting out. I'm not going to lie for you, you stupid fuck. And how dare you ask me? How dare you even ask? We get so much intel out of that you have the audacity and the nerve to ask me of all people for help. You are off your nut. Listen, we for 10 years we quote you, we're naming your people. Now, we didn't get names until after March 2020. When my guy told you, you're offering me a bribe, or it's always threats and bribes with Mr. Perry. I'll give you anything you want. Yeah, what I want is what you took from me. I want it back, and I want you out of my life. Get out of it. Get away from me, you sicko. And my guy's trying to talk to me into lie. My guy's like, tell him at no time did you or do you have to lie. You tell him I said that, and you tell him you get that club full of paying customers, you sick fuck. We watched you run all those people off. They're customers, they're paying customers. You ran them off. We watched you do it. Get him back in that club, and you make it right with that man that owns it. Give Cindy her money back. Get Michael Neely home to his family. Get Tristan and Fabian up so they can talk to her. And you butt out, nosy body Connie. Butt out. It's not your business. None of that concerns you at all. It doesn't concern you at all. You're a butt-in. You're a wannabe. Let them talk and you leave them alone. Or else. After that is when we got everybody's name. After that is when we found out. No, we were finding out Mike was drugged right a little bit before that. So, what he does is he says it, then he shows you. Here's what I'm going to do. We're going to use all that to put you in jail. Because if you're not going to stop yourself, we're going to have to do it for you. We don't have a choice. And if Oklahoma law enforcement is too weak and pathetic, and the Muffin Man said, well, fine, we'll take care of it. We'll do the job. We'll do it. If they're going to sit around being jealous of Cindy, what the fuck is that? Get off your ass and go work. And catch the fucking bad guy. And quit being a bunch of meter maids. Anybody can pull somebody over, run a tag, and write a ticket. You have to plan evidence. You're not a detective. Because being a good detective means you find the evidence that's there. And then you figure out who did it. You don't go, oh, David said, let's frame Cindy. So let's try to get her shoes that she bought a year after the murder and use that. Nobody will suspect a thing. Let's try to make her, a murderer at a crime scene she's never even been to. Murdering a person she's never even met. Just make it work. If you're a good cop, you get the evidence that's there and you get the bad guy. And if David Roberson is causing problems and obstructing justice, put him in jail. Put the bitch in jail. Or someone else has to come into your state and do your job for you. Witness tampering. I'm not going to tell you if it's state or federal or what. But let's just say it's another state. They can still do it because I'm their witness and you're tampering. Anything you do to me that would be considered tampering with their witness, they can come here and get your ass and take you off to wherever it is they are, and you're done. You're done. We quote you, you're not quoting us. Don't forget that. You get that mixed up on a daily basis. We have always controlled the flow of information. I'm not supposed to know anything about Muffin Man, and I do. I'm not supposed to know you were going to mark my car or have me pulled over tonight. I said it at 3 o'clock, like 2, 3 o'clock this afternoon. I go out, my headlight's out. Oh, fuck, they did it again. They did it again. It's a taillight or a headlight or... Lucius, you're caught. Lucius, I know your name and I've not met you. And if you weren't stupid, that would make you shit yourself. How do I have that information, sir? Calvin. How many times have I said a man's kindness brings blessings? We can get the information. His cruelty will ruin him. It's ruining you. People are sick and tired of you running around with your scripts and role playing, asking and demanding that you hurt someone. And they're not comfortable with it. And they're sick and tired of it. And then getting in their face, did you leak? Did you talk? Who'd you talk to? I'm tired of it. You know what? No one invited Charles Perry here to begin with. And all he does is take up hours and hours and hours of everyone else's time with his delusional whack job shit and his crime and cause damage and loss and stress and anxiety and suffering, and everyone's tired of it. That's the bottom line. We get the help you're told on. That's it. He said, don't contact her or her family. Get the fuck out of her privacy, you sick fuck pervert. You sick little pervert. Get out of her privacy. Do not contact her or her family again. And she'd better not be broke. You get that club full of paying customers. Or else. You get Mike out to his family. This was before his trial. This was before his trial. After all that, we got your names, guys. Was it worth it? Get him home. Get Fabian and Tristan up to Tulsa so they can talk. And you butt the hell out of it. It's none of your business. She's not to be broke. Don't contact her or family. Get out of her privacy. Or else. He's not kidding, Charles. There was a promise made to end human rights violations that you're committing. Deprivation of food and shelter, basic rights and needs. It was made 10 years ago, 11, 12 years ago. And we've shown you every day what we can do. I can't do this by myself. It's not humanly possible for her to know that. Oh, that's funny. I'm looking right at it, so it is. She's got it. She has it. It is. Stupid. They're just making sure you don't know how they do it. You know why? Because you'll obstruct justice. You'll get in the way. They're not going to let that happen. Why would they? Why would they do that? About a month or so ago, somebody said, where she keeps finding out, she gets tipped off, blah, blah, blah. Uh-huh. And it's going to keep happening. You don't like that? No? Well, she said people are very uncomfortable and very upset and very disturbed by what Mr. Perry's doing. And crime tends to do that. Tends to upset people. It makes them uncomfortable and disturbed. Her people are very strategic and methodical and calculated, and they do their homework. And they understand that what people want, and it's not what you're doing. And so until Mr. Perry gets a grip on reality, until Lucius, Calvin, Geppetto, David, Roberson, Joe Chadwick, and their crew of weirdo gets a grip on reality, it will happen again tomorrow. Nothing changes if nothing changes. You don't get what people want. It's not this. People want this stopped. So you're outnumbered. You're outnumbered. You have wasted enough time. You've used all your capital. You've used your capital. And everybody's sick and tired of you tearing everything up that's good. Life is hard enough. And so when you get something good or someone or something good comes into your life, you're very happy. And when there's a monster going around destroying it faster than you get it, you are going to be one hated son of a bitch. You are going to have people become very, very bitter at you. Very bitter at you. You don't have the right to do that. Mr. Perry, no one invited you to Oklahoma. For you to have the nerve to come up here where I am and cause one big massive loss after another, and drama and problems and stress and anxiety, you are just the most depraved, demented, fucked up person I've ever met. Very, very sick. Very, very twisted. And so the Muffin Man doesn't carry shit, does it? He wasn't there for a cop. I'm sorry, he wasn't there for 2 cops. Or a woman who's a victim of crime in his state. Is he a misogynist pig too? You don't get to do that now. This is the 21st century. Now there's the Me Too movement. Now we don't put up with human rights violations or slavery. We don't put up with it. Charles, every time you contact me, we always get more. You ask me a question, you're going to piss us all off. Do not ask me questions. I'm not getting paid $500 an hour to answer your questions. Mark Warman is. You don't fucking bother me again with your questions. Every time you contact me, we always get more. Every time you cause a problem for me, we get more. Every time you invade my privacy, they invade yours. And we get more. And it's been that way for 10 years, every day, all day long. I typed up everything you guys said all day long again today. And then I walk outside and it's confirmed. Oh, wow. They took my headline out again. That's the second time you've done that. You're vandalizing my car, Calvin. You're vandalizing it. So, the Muffin Man is not respected anymore. So you call and you use that. Muffin Man said bullshit. Doesn't matter now. When we quote the fact that I found out the Muffin Man code word or nickname or whatever you want to call it, and I know who that is, I'm not supposed to know that, but I do. And if you weren't stupid, you'd shit yourself that I do. I know it. I know who he is. I know he's not respected anymore. Because he didn't do the right thing because it was the right thing to do. He did the wrong thing. And now no one cares what the Muffin Man says. Mr. Perry, say that one more time. Call one more guy and say, but the Muffin Man said. Do it, I dare you. How pathetic. This is how our guys think, like this guy right here.
That's okay, I don't care.
Leave me alone. All you want. I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey, men. Leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her. You need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't.
All right. I don't know if Judge Parker is still involved or not. Judge Parker doesn't have jurisdiction over a bunch of people that live in Oklahoma. Crime and injuries in Oklahoma. There's a lot of stuff she's not involved in the loop on. So she's ignorant on fact on a whole lot of things. So is Judge Egan. There's a police investigation going on that started out a human rights violations complaint and a promise to put a stop to it. And they are, if I know that you've talked in court with Judge Parker, or you've talked in court with Judge Egan, Mr. Perry, and I'm not in those hearings, and Judge Kirkendall, what does that tell you, stupid? I'm not even going to answer that question. Ask your fucking attorney that you pay $500 an hour. And don't bother me with your questions anymore. But you need to answer the question for yourself. What does it mean that I know you've been in those courtrooms? And there's overstep and overreach for Judge Parker. Big time. And there's some obstruction of justice too. And there's some perjury and fraud. Intentional perjury and intentional fraud. I guess somebody asked the question the other day. We all know that Mr. Perry has Huntington's disease. Someone was pissed off that he was tormenting and torturing Cindy and trying to ruin her, so they made sure she found out. It causes paranoia, delusion, hallucinations, psychosis, and impaired cognitive reasoning. So he does not have Tourette's. That's bullshit. He's full of crap. He has Huntington's disease. So when you cause people a lot of loss and a lot of problems, and they get mad enough, there might be information they've been sitting on for a while, just to kind of watch that makes them blow their top, and they're like, I'm done. I'm talking. I'm done. This is not going to happen again. We're done. So all of this stuff that I'm not supposed to know, I do know. You are in Oklahoma, and they've told me he refuses to leave, and he's been told numerous times. I believe Mr. Kunzweiler even said, you have to go back to Lubbock to your family. You have to go. And you cried and whined for a long time and took up his time. I can't leave without her. Listen, she's nothing to you. You're a stalker. Now stop with your whack job problems. Stop making a fool of yourself with that. I rejected you and I left. Grow up.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey, men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them, especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumb ass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her. You need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.
That's okay. I've been raping you since
Leave
you were
me
12 years
alone.
old.
Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
Alright, can Judge Kirkendall or Parker or Ian or Cummings or Morrissey or Hoffmeister for that matter, can they name the judge that signs off on investigatory orders? No, they can't. It's a need to know. It's a need to know. So they're ignorant on fact. If they can't name that guy, then I'm sorry, but it's a need to know. And you are not in the loop.
Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
Okay, so the fruit of the investigation into you gave us information that indicated you had something in Judge Kirkendall's court, at which time she said, there's an email here from 2017 that says you expressed intent to send her to Oklahoma, home to her family, and then harass the hell out of her. And then when she complained about it, you were going to go into court and lie. Knowingly and intentionally and willfully lie and perjure yourself and state a claim that you were being harassed. Okay, now I'm looking at a lot of injury to her, so it looks like that's what you're doing. Why don't you leave her alone and give her nothing else to talk about and see if things don't die down? Because it looks to me like you're doing exactly what that email from 2017 and 18 says. It looks like you're just doing exactly what she says. She's the only one that got it right. But you know what? We know about that. We know about Judge Parker and what she said. We have information indicating she chewed out Chief Franklin at one point. Chewed his ass out. And she did not have that right. She overstepped. All the parties are in Oklahoma, not Texas, Judy. They're not even in Texas. The injury's all in Oklahoma, and you don't know anything about that. So we're like, wow. What right did you have to tell a police officer you can't protect the citizens in your city? Because you're going to piss me off over here in Texas. That's the fruit of the investigation into you, Mr. Perry, Mr. Roberson, Mr. Powell. Okay? That's the fruit of that investigation. That you had a hearing in her courtroom, and she called Chief Franklin up and chewed his ass out. And she doesn't have that right. He has a legal and a moral obligation to protect the citizens in Tulsa, and I'm one of those citizens. Dum-dum. And you were never invited here. Where's Jacqueline, your wife? And Matthew and Jordan, your kids? When you're up here bothering me. Committing one crime after another against me. Where are they? What are they doing? What do they think you're doing? Why didn't you tell Judge Parker and Judge Egan what you do with your time all day? And explain why the fuck are you in Oklahoma? Everybody's sick of the trouble you make. So we get the help, and you get told on, and then I find out that there was something in Kirkendall's court, Parker's court, Egan's court, and where you went and lied. People are sick and tired of your whining and your nagging. Please take her car away. Please take her car away. Then she'll call me. Please put her in jail. Then she'll call me. Oh my God, if I have to hear it one more time, I'll beat the hell out of you. You mind your own business, and you stay the fuck away from me. You don't have a choice. Ask Lucius and Beverly and Sonjay and Jake and Gabe and Greg, Tim, and Larry. And all those people, I'm not supposed to know their names, but I do. I mean, you don't have a choice. Comply with the fucking law. You don't have a choice. Get the hell out of her privacy, you sick pervert. I billed you $1,000 a day for using my body and my property and my utilities for your entertainment in your imaginary life. Prove you're not sitting around on your ass all day watching me in the privacy of my home. Prove it. Prove it in court. You sick fuck. and prove you didn't kill Mike Neely. I mean, Chief Miller and Frame Mike. Prove it. Because I can prove you did. Okay? I can prove you did that. You start killing cops, and a Muffin Man doesn't do shit about it, and then you wave his name around. Didn't do any good there, did it? It doesn't have any pull anymore. No one cares. When we find out this information, when we got Muffin Man and all that crap, and your other code words, Ratatouille, take her to dinner and get her home address. Rumpelstiltskin, go in there and get her to say her real name. Right? Little Red Riding Hood, use her family to coerce her. One of your guys complained. We have had, we spent years and a lot of money grooming her family to help us traffic her. And instead, what happened is she hates her family. She won't even talk to them. They betrayed her trust. She won't even talk to them. So all the scripts and role-playing, they can go in there and say whatever we tell them to say. It's not going to matter. Get the fuck out of here. I don't want to hear it. It's not going to... His words coming out of your mouth is going to make... Oh, okay, since you said it, I'll do it now. That's not what's going to happen. And if you ever thought it would, you really are delusional. And you're not getting it. You're fucking not getting it. There's no damn way. I said no, and fuck you. Period. That's it. When you pressure and make and take and rob and rape, just try to get her car, then she'll do it, then she'll call me. You get her car, take her car away, then she'll call me. Whiny, naggy, whiny, oh my god. I wish he would fucking shut up. She's not gonna call him. It's not gonna happen. Has he met her? He doesn't know a thing about that girl. He can't even manage his expectations right. If you met her, it's not gonna happen. He's off his whack job. There's no, please take her car away. Please put her in jail. Then she'll do what we want. Wow. Jesus. The hell is that? So, these are the Charles Perry Stalker podcast and Human Trafficking podcast, by the way. And this is Cynthia Ortiz. Look at what your whining did. So, did anybody call the Muffin Man or Lucius or Calvin or you or Robertson and go, is it okay if we get this information from you and give it to Cindy? When? When did they call? Does the Muffin Man know any of the guys' names who got that information from you to me? No. He's not in the loop. He showed disrespect for cops. Mike Neely is an officer down in the need of an assist. I've been the one that stood up for him. Blankenship didn't. I did. Blankenship didn't dissect that case. I did. My guys told me he was drugged and he didn't do it. And we all dissected it. And where was Blankenship? Blankenship's jealous. He's part of the little group of 20 guys trying to ruin one woman, trying to make one woman fail. Is that the case? Golly, doesn't get any more pathetic. Just perform at high levels. Keep up with us. We're not slowing down for you. If you can't, maybe find a job that's more suited for you. You don't get jealous and try to ruin people. You try to improve yourself so that you can keep up. Duh. Okay, so I have your name. It ought to scare the shit out of you that I have your name. To the best of my knowledge, I've not met you. Unless you're Al. If you're Al, then I've met you and I did a VIP for you. And, you didn't come out of that with any kind of, maybe, as I'm... okay, so this Al guy comes in and gets the VIP and he says to me, I think that the feds say too much. And I looked at him and I'm like, oh, okay. And what do you mean by that? Like, give me something specific. No, I'm just saying they say too much. Uh-huh. There goes your sting op right there. You fucked that up right there. Give me specifics. Because right now your sting op is a bust. And you're not going to get fuck out of me. We're done. We're done. Do you want a VIP? Yeah. Okay, let's go get a VIP. I mean, we're fucking done. You fucked this whole thing up with that right there. Specifics. Don't just give me some vague. The feds say what the feds say. Any investigatory agency is going to say what they say based on strategy, based on what they know about the crime, what they're trying to accomplish, their objectives, and no one asked your permission and they didn't need your approval, sir. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're doing. You're not involved in the nitty-gritty of the case in any situation, whether it be feds or some other police department. If nobody calls you back because you've shown yourself not to be trustworthy, that you're not interested at all in protecting and serving, you're interested in covering the ass of a sex weirdo. You're the bitch of a sex weirdo, maybe. You tell us, are you? When you've got children being raped, and they're screaming and their moms are having to listen to that, and those children are being told you'll get used to it, and you got cops getting killed, yeah, the hell, I can talk, I'm sorry, but I'm going to be very direct with you, and I don't care if I hurt your feelings, I'll get you a tissue. Who the hell do you think you are to allow that to go on, and you just don't do anything about it? If I know that you had a hearing, Mr. Perry, in Judy's court, and in Kirkendall's court, and in Egan's court, that you went in there and you lied, or you had my family lie, or both, then that ought to make you, if you weren't stupid, you would shit yourself. Okay? I don't have any respect for you. I don't like you. Our shrink said, it's not about a romance, because she's flat said, here's what I am attracted to in men, and here's what I'm repulsed by. And he does everything she's repulsed by and nothing she likes. It's been 10 years of that. You don't ruin somebody's life and go, why won't they date me? I'm going to put her out on the street and make her starve for 6 months and live in her car. Then she'll go on it. Then she'll fall in love with me. Said no guy ever. A human trafficker might, though. You're caught. You fuck. You're caught when you did it to me. When you did it to me, life as you knew it ended forever. And if you're so stupid that you can't tell, you're caught. And when you're caught, that's when you stop. Not that you should do that at all, ever, anyway. You're not smart enough to be governor. You're not smart enough to tie your shoe by yourself, sir. And so whoever said that repeated it, and he goes, and I completely disagree that Blankenship is just as smart as she is. Bullshit. Because if he was as smart as she is, he would also know that you're caught, and when you're caught, you stop. Not that you should do that anyway. Okay? So why is he doing it? Why is he helping ruin her? Why is he a part of the crime if that information is true? Maybe he can answer the question. I don't have any patience for men who allow women to get, and children to get abused and beat and raped. And other cops to get killed, and you just sit on your fat ass and do nothing. So, what you guys can run around and call people and, oh, the Muffin Man said, whoop-de-doo. The Muffin Man lost respect by allowing a woman to be terrorized in his state, and he didn't do shit. And a cop to be killed, one of his own guys, lost his life in the line of duty. Where was he? And another one almost killed. Where was he? He's sitting in prison in Florida, serving time for a crime he could not have done. Where was Muffin Man then? So, throwing his name in people's faces didn't do squat, did it, Mr. Perry? Look what we got right here. Because you did that. You pissed off the wrong people on this one. Okay? There was a promise made. There will be no more human rights violations. There are regular conversations so that everybody in that loop makes sure they know work is being done to put a stop to it. Objectives are being met. We got your names. You are not have ours. We have your code words. You do not have ours. Don't mix that up ever again. We quote you every day. You do not quote our meetings or our phone calls. Do not mix that up again. We have always controlled the flow of information. The first one was the McNamara email. Look what he said in 2020. Lucius, I have your name, and if you weren't stupid, that would make you a nervous wreck. Took it out my toe. We want her pulled over, take her car. We got to mark that car hers. Calvin. I don't know what to say. Everybody is so sick and tired of this. Just sick and tired of that. The stress, the harassment, the nagging, the whining. Oh my God, please go home to your family and leave everybody alone. Nobody's bothering you. You're getting caught bothering me. Leave everybody the fuck alone. Alright, so we got all this. These are subject lines of emails just like the ones I just showed you. McNamara email. Yellow Brick Road. Gonna make her take the Yellow Brick Road. Yeah, no. I don't think so, Calvin. Carrot in the stick. We're gonna use the carrot in the stick approach with her. You're the stick. The guy's helping me. They told me you said that. They're the carrot. Dumb. Look at all that. By the way, they just completely blocked Facebook, so little pussy cowards. They don't want to. That means they don't want you to see what I have. Okay? They're cowards. Notice they never let me in court. There's never court hearing where I'm there. 5 attorneys, 1 girl with not a lick of law school, and 3 times I sued, and they needed me to prove my case. The burden of proof is on me, and they run around going, "She can't prove it. And everyone's like, "Bullshit." You had 3 chances to make her prove it, and you wouldn't even let her in court. You stupid fuck. Do you think we were all born yesterday or something? I mean, does it look like I was, like I just fell off the turnip truck? Come on with that. She can't prove it. Bullshit. I think she can, or you'd have let her in court. You'd have made her. If you thought really that she couldn't prove it, you would have had the 3 times that she sued you, and the burden of proof is on her. You'd have made her go in there and try to prove it, and then not be able to. But that's not what you did. You made sure that she was never in court. So don't sit there and did you? I mean, come on now. Don't insult our intelligence. We hear it all the time. By the way, if I'm speaking in the third person, I'm quoting somebody else. So here's where we started getting names. March 2020. Don't invade our privacy. Don't contact her or her family. That club better be full of paying customers or else. Since you ran all their people off, we watched you do it. Mike better be home to his family because he didn't do anything wrong. Every time you contact me, Charles, we always get more. Nothing else happens but that. You stupid little fuck. Look at that. Every time you contact me, you always get us more intel. The intel will be used to put you in jail no matter what you tell you. It doesn't matter what you think in your bullshit land. That's what we're going to do with it. Okay? You're running around going, how'd she find out about that? How'd she know? It's not humanly possible for her to have that. Well, I'm looking right at it, so it is. You just don't know how. And guess what? That's not for you to know. They make sure you don't know. They're not going to let you obstruct their case. Why would they do that? These people are very smart. They're very calculated. They do their homework. Here's all this. Names of people. Jacob and Calvin. I'm sorry, Gabe and Jacob. Jacob and Calvin's my cousins. I don't know. That just popped in my head. Greg. Let's see. We got Larry, Tim, Bruce. Look, all these names after March 2020. Because you thought you had a choice. You delusional whack. You didn't. See? Look what he did. He's made a promise. We're going to put a stop to human rights violations and suffering. So this is part of that. He's not going to renege on his promise. There was a commitment made by some very important people that they're going to put a stop to it. And so they have to take information every day to show them. I'm sorry, it's probably once a week to show them what they're working on. Here's what we're doing now to put a stop to it. Yeah, people do not think highly of you. That's for sure. Okay, you were in my college. We find out about the Houston compound. Yeah. Was it cute now? Lucius? Now is he cute? Look at that. So much crap we got. Every time you contact me, we get more. Every time you take something from me or cause a problem for me, we get more. Okay? No one cares about the Muffin man. We didn't ask him. We didn't call him and go, what do you think if we get this information from them to her? He didn't get that kind of phone call. We don't ask about leaks. We don't have them. There's a high level of commitment to what we're doing. See? All that. Every time he contacts me, we get more. Every day I'm broke and Mike's in jail, we get more. Every time he causes a problem for me, we get more. Every day that club's not have full paying customers, because he told you in March 2020, we've watched you run off their customers. Fix it, or else. She's not to be broke. Get your hands out of her wallet, or else. That's not your money to take. You don't invade her privacy. He's not fixing to get my detective microscope and shove it up your ass and invade yours. And then we'll see if you like it then. Is it funny when somebody does it to you? What you do to other people? Yeah, I don't know. But Muffin Man's opinion was not sought before we got all this. We don't give a fuck. We really don't. You know what we care about? Those little kids screaming because they're getting raped. And some old fart, sweaty fuck telling him he'll just get used to it. You don't have the right to say something like that. You don't have the right to touch that child. You don't have the right to touch that child. And how dare you? And what sick fucks you are for doing that. The dead police officer who gave his life in the line of duty deserves to have the honors of being killed in the line of duty. He was not killed in a drunken brawl. He was killed in the line of duty. Mike Neely needs to fucking go home. And here we are, another Christmas, and he's not with his family, and that's your fault, and you're going to pay for that. That empty club, you're going to pay for that. Every day I don't have money and my bills aren't paid on time, you're going to pay for that. Every time you sit around and talk about marking my car, having me pulled over, taking my car, then she'll call me. Wow, you don't know me at all, because there won't be a phone call. Every day you continue to harass my family, you're going to pay for that. You're already paying in ways you have not ever had to pay before. And nobody consulted the Muffin Man. We don't give a shit what he thinks. You know what we care about? Those kids. The Neely family, the Miller family. The victims matter, sir. Not you, and not the Muffin Man. Okay? Or Blankenship, and he's got his little butt hurt because I out-copped him. Whoop-de-doo. We'll get you a tissue. Why don't you keep up with me? I'm not slowing down for you. I'm not doing it. So, if you're a part of that crime to try to ruin me because you're jealous, fix the problem. You're going at me trying to ruin me. It's not fixing the problem, is it? It's not fixing the fucking problem. Figure out how to be a good cop. Or go do something else for a living. And for a judge to call a police officer and tell him, hey, Chief Franklin, you can't protect the citizens in your city. Way out of line. Way the fuck out of line. And the fact that I know about that, you're not shitting yourself, you're just not all there. You're just not all there. It's different when you do it to me, but it's the same every time you do it. And I'm going to tell you right now, everybody is sick of this, and they're sick of Mr. Perry, and they're sick of him taking up hours of their time, and they're sick of his delusion, and they're sick of his whack job comments, and they're sick of his crime. They're sick of all of your crime. We are getting the help, and you are getting told on. And it's been that way for a decade. Look at that. Get her tags, pull her over. We took her tail light out. Well, am I going to reckon? We need to mark her car so they can see her and distinguish her car from everybody else's gray car or pink car or blue car for that matter. I mean, right? Mm-hmm. Look at that. Every time you contact me, we get more. The fact remains, on the first false arrest, There's no evidence log. There's no notes on an investigation. And there's no evidence of a political vendetta either. Cuckoo bird, imagine that too. Little blue men. Special interest group is after my political career. Which special interest group? What's the issue? Here we are 7 years later and he has no idea what the issue is. Because he made up crap. He just made crap up. Again. Intentionally, willfully deceive the court. There is nothing. If there was, everybody can see that when I'm pissed off, I'm going to say I'm pissed off and here's why and here's what. And yet not one email or text or anything about a political issue anywhere. There's a shit ton about my being pissed off about being stalked. And Mr. Perry butting into shit that did not concern him. It's none of his business. So, getting into... Oh, we got one tonight earlier. I did not type it up. It has nothing to do with... the ones that we type up are more about... there's some danger to me. Or some major loss Mr. Perry's trying to cause. This was not that. This was a... I'm not going to get into the details of exactly what it was, but... an individual was commenting on Mr. Perry calling Jaguars. And he said Mr. Edwards was emailed. And the email stated that there was a belief that he was receiving disparaging calls from someone. And they wanted him to stop taking those calls. And Mr. Edwards said no such thing is happening. On one hand, and then the next thing is, but everyone says she's crazy. Okay. Saying she's crazy is a disparaging comment, sir. And who's everyone? She's worked at Jaguars, and he said that she was there 13 times. In 13 times, that's not enough time to get to know people that you work with very well at all. And my guess is, knowing how the strip club business works, out of those 13 times, she probably interacted with the same people, maybe 6, other than management. So who's everyone? And they were making disparaging comments. You just said they said she was crazy. So which is it, Mr. Edwards? Are you lying now, or are you lying when you said you didn't receive a disparaging phone calls that were, you didn't, no one has said disparaging things to her, or you didn't receive any calls like that? Were you lying then? Or when you said, well, everyone says she's crazy? Which one's the lie? So, what we know is that did happen, and Cindy said she went to work, and Fabian was pissed at her, and they had not had a fight. And then she went outside, and there were several of her coworkers out there, and she said, why is Fabian pissed off at me? We didn't have a fight. And one of her coworkers said that senator was calling up here. He told him a bunch of crap. So he's pissed off. And now, then Cindy was mad. He doesn't need to be calling up here. It's none of his business. He's way out of line. Very inappropriate. And so, she didn't say anything to Fabian that night. She went home and then went back another night when she wasn't working and sat Fabian down and had a conversation with him. And to this day, we don't know what all happened in that conversation, but we do know what the little bit she's divulged is that the two of them were talking, and Fabian said, maybe the way to resolve this problem is do this. And she said, I can't do that, and here's why. And his response was, well, I just think you deserve better than to have to live your life being harassed by this guy. I think you deserve better than that. And I hope maybe that was the way to make it work. Make it be able to live a life without him in it. And she said, well, I can't do that right now because, and told him why. And the rest of the conversation, we don't know. We'll never know. That was between those two. We don't know what they talked about. What else? But what I will say is that was what Mr. Edwards denied was supported that night by what the coworkers told her, and which prompted her then to go to Fabian with it and say, look, I got a stalker, and here's the thing. Well, we don't know what else they talked about. That's all I know. So that happened this afternoon. Because every time Charles contacts me, invades my privacy, and takes something from me, they take from him. And he's typed in my phone constantly, I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna get you. I'm like, oh my God. You know what you just got told on again? Get the fuck out of my phone. You whack job fuck. Get the fuck out of my fucking phone. So, the conversation that I just said is supported by documents that have been filed with the courts. I'm not going to show them here. They're on the court docket. Go look on the court fucking docket. That, you know, the thing that I can't prove, okay? It's in one of the 3, or probably all 3, of the court cases that I was intentionally kept out of. There's 4 of these. There's 3 of my lawsuits. And they run around, she can't prove it, she can't prove it. Then why didn't you make her go into court and prove she can't prove it? Dumb. 5 attorneys couldn't handle one chick with no law school. Really? What's the point? Let her, what's the point in not letting her go into court to show evidence she does not have? What did that do? I'm pretty sure she can't prove it. By the way, I did not just fall off the turnip truck. Stop insulting my intelligence. The 4th one was Mike's case. Anybody who's heard me dissect his case will tell you after they've finished hearing what I had to say on it. Had the jury heard that, he'd be home. That's why they wouldn't let her testify. That's why she's broke, and that's why they're retaliating against her. That's why they're trying to traffic her. Put her in a dungeon to shut her up. And that's why Blankenship's jealous. He didn't do it, she did it. Yeah. Get you a tissue. Or just fucking be a better cop. Or don't be a cop at all. But I'm not going to slow down for you. You're going to have to keep up with me. And that's all there is to it. And you want to attack me? Thank you for the compliment. That it's that bad. That you're that stooping that low. Instead of rising to the level to be a better cop and improving your skill or whatever, you're stooping that low, really? And that's how you're solving the problem? And that explains a lot. There's a culture there we don't want here. Citizens don't like that. There was a whole defunding police movement. I don't mean just in Tulsa. Nationally, people are frustrated with fucking cops. Frustrated with the corruption. We don't like it. Nobody likes it. So, we don't have a hard time getting the help. But they won't call you back. You figure it out. Mr. Perry, every time you contact me, we always get more of this stuff right here. I fucking hate your contact. You creepy shit. I hate every time you contact me. It makes me want to throw up. It does not. I can't even understand it. Why in the fuck would anyone do that shit to someone? Get in their phone and type in it. Get the fuck. Do not contact me in any form, sir. Please go home to your family and just leave everybody the fuck alone. Instead of bothering and threatening and harassing and taking up everybody's time and whining and nagging and bullying and did you leak? Did you say something? Did you slip up? Shut the fuck up. Just shut up. We got all this. See? Every time he contacts me, we get more. I have no doubt that he is doing exactly what she says. Why the hell is he in Oklahoma? And why is he talking to her family and causing a separation there? You tried to cause one between me and Fabian. And somebody that I work with got pissed off about it because I walked outside. They were already out there. I walked outside on the porch. The hell is Fabian pissed off at me for? We didn't fight. Oh, yeah, here's the deal. Oh, my God. What creepy. He's calling, Charles Perry's calling a strip club manager to butt in to a potential dating thing. I'm telling my friend in New York that I've known forever, a lot longer than I've known Perry. She's like, "Are you dating anybody?" And I'm like, "No, but I want to hang out. I want to hang out with this Fabian guy and see what he's like." And so that's when Perry calls Fabian. And the next day I go to work and he's pissed. And we did not fight. So we straightened out right up. Sir, mind your own business. Mind your own fucking business. Get a life. Boring. Our shrink is like, she flat said, "Here's what I like in men, and here's what repulses me." No woman likes a peeping Tom. That alone, if there were nothing else, there's that. But it turns out there's a hell of a lot more than that. And I don't date canned food guys. I don't date canned food guys. I don't know how many times I got to say that. And you run around, "I'm going to starve her till she lies. I'm going to put her in jail till she lies. I'm going to kidnap her." And anybody who listen, we're like, "Oh my God. Well, here we go again." So, okay, so we got all that. I already showed this. But I'm not supposed to know about Kirkendall. We're Muffin Man, but I do. Because that's the fruit of the investigation into what you want to mark my car. We got to mark our car so people can tell it's our car. Can't you get her to put a bumper sticker on it? No. Mind your own business, Calvin. Okay, so here's Blankenship. Jealous of it. Oh my God. We're all like, "Oh, for God's sake. Are you shitting us with this? Are you fucking shitting us with this? Really?" We don't even know what to say to that. It's not legal, but I'm going to have her car towed and sold before she figures that out. Last highlighted sentence. In 2019, and he says it every day. Tries to wreck it, or ruin the engine, or have some cop pull me over and tow it, and put some evidence in there and tell her you got to impound it. Yeah. Do that. And the OHP guy was like, if he did this crap to her in a bar, the bouncers would throw his ass out. So why are we putting up with this? Muffin Man. All this stuff. This is the puzzle I got in jail. If they could get that to me in jail, what else could they get to me, sir? They can do a lot of things, can't they? It's Fabian's name, intersecting with the word hope. After you carried out a threat to have me false arrested. In the first false arrest, she was arrested charged in Lubbock. She didn't live in Lubbock. For filing a false police report in retaliation for a public servant doing his job as a senator. And there's no evidence of any kind of political vendetta. And we were like, well, what's the special interest group that you think is helping her get stuff like this McNamara email here? And this what's the special? Who are the little green men trying to ruin your political career, sir? You don't even have a political career. When you two met, you were the new guy. And then she left. And since that time, you're always in Oklahoma harassing her. So you don't even have a political career to attack. Please tell us where's the text, where's the email that would reveal the issue she's pissed off about, that would cause her to file a false police report? Where is it? What's the issue? Who's the special interest group you think is after you with their little blue men? And you don't have anything. What would you do that made such an impact that you would have that kind of an attack? You didn't do anything because you're always in Oklahoma harassing women, perverting around all day. You don't work. You don't get anything done because you're too busy perverting around all day, trying to traffic and rape and shit, kill cops and crap, right? Okay, so we got this. This was dated, lying in court and stuff, right? We need to put her in jail, then she'll lie for me. Take her car away, then she'll lie for me, then she'll call me. Please just do it now. The Muffin Man said. We're like, for God's sake, here we go again. Here we go again. So, we got it before you did it. Same as this one. I'm going to false arrest her and harass the hell out of her and coerce her, bully her and harass her and bother her and bully her until she lies for me. Which means she's telling the truth now. And the truth is inconvenient. Because you don't ask someone to lie if they're already lying. You only ask someone to lie if they're telling the truth, right? I don't know. Most people didn't just fall off the turnip truck, Mr. Perry. So, that's what the guy was talking about earlier. The fact remains he did a false arrest. She had to file a police report. It's the law in Oklahoma. That's where she lived. She lived in Texas. To this day, 7 years later, we still don't know what the political vendetta is. Doesn't look like there is one. There's no evidence of that, nor is there evidence she filed a false police report. There's not an evidence log. There's no investigation. There's nothing. And there's a lot of evidence that looks like they were trying to kill her. See? Why is he telling her this shit? You talk about some weird texts. There's some weird texts. There's one that says, yes, I was giving you arsenic and phenobarbital. I don't know where it is. It's, look at that. I don't want a scandal. I want him to leave me the fuck alone. Then I moved. Bunch of people coming up, taking pictures of me. Bunch of car accidents, see? Kirkendall. Is that it? No, this is a different one. We want to take her computer and her driver's license every fucking day. I need to get her driver's license away from her. I need to get her keys away from her. I need to get her car title away from her, Lucius. Is that you? Is that you, Lucius? If I have your name, you ought to be shitting yourself. And if you're not, you're just not all there. That's what Kirkendall was talking about. Got this email back from 2008. Fucking teen. Come on, Blankenship. Keep up with us. We're not slowing down for you. Yeah. Harass. We'll say she's harassing us. We'll lie. Take her tail light. Never pull over. I said it again today at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I go outside. Oh my God, they did it again. Lucky complained about it. We're tired of getting asked to pull her over. We got other shit to do. He says she's harassing her. Guess who calls us all the time? Him, Matt Powell, and Josh Burston. Won't fucking leave us alone. We're trying to work. We're trying to solve crime. We're trying to be cops in our town. And they call and call and call and call. Pull her over, pull her over, pull her constantly. You know how many she calls? Never. Not called us. We're sick of it. We're fucking sick of it. And the one time I did call him, 6 days later, he's dead. Do you think we all just fell off the turnip truck, Charles? Call and tell people the Muffin Man said one more time, I dare you. I dare you. That's not helping you. That doesn't carry the weight it once did, does it? Things are different now. Life as you knew it ended the second you started picking a fight with me. You're the ones running around going, we've never seen this before. This never happened before. We've never had one of our victims figure out we had cameras in their house. We've never had one of our victims send us an invoice. We've never had one of our victims sue us. We've never had one of our victims solve a murder we committed to cover all that up. And you do now. And you act like you don't. We're a little confused by that. Blankenship's jealous. Whatever. Okay, so this was a letter to the U.S. Attorney. He's using law enforcement and taxpayer-funded resources to stalk and harass me. Can you do something here, please? Like call FBI George or something? This was back in 2015. A couple of cops said they were tired of this. I'm not going to get into that again. I had a conversation with 2 police officers at my work in 2015, August, right before I sent that letter. So what happened in that conversation that led to the writing of that letter? Do you think I ranted about your position on pro-life or gun rights, or is that what that sound like that is? Can you not read anymore? Wrecked my car, wrecked it again, wrecked it again, wrecked it again. And stalkers always go at the car. All stalkers do it, and they always do it. Not how you get a date or women to fall in love with you. We have one in Tulsa that we need to get her to Texas so we can do more to her. Duly noted. That was in March of this year, because this was February 9th. We can't get her kicked out of her house for non-payment. It's COVID moratorium. This was that March right after that. And they did. She calls on the 15th, just a few days later. See? Did we call Blankenship or Muffin Man and ask their permission before we got this or this? No one cares what they think. It's about what the victims think. Those kids getting raped and sodomized. Somebody said that place smells like a sewer because those kids are shitting all over the floor from being sodomized. That's who matters, not you. Not Blankenship. And is her little, my feelings are, ooh, I can't keep. Or Muffin Man. Call one more person and use Muffin Man said. Do it one more time. And we're going to laugh our asses off. Because we have all this. And nobody asked the Muffin Man. What are we going to do with that? You think we're really just going to do nothing with it, sir? Okay, you tell yourself whatever bullshit story you want. This guy has not a mark on him. And he's accused of beating someone to death. There's no way. There's no way. We told you to get him home. And you thought you had a choice. Ask the Muffin Man what kind of choice he thinks you have. Being I have his name and I know exactly who he is. Ask him what he thinks about that. You have to file a police report if you want to get a protective order. And if somebody's threatening you with death and false arrest, you need a protective order. Dum-dum. Maybe quit threatening people. Yep, it's not how you get a date. Point out for me the marks on this guy that looks like he was in a fight. The detective that interviewed him said that it appears Chief Miller was beat to death. Okay, what he did not say is, see the injuries on you? It looks like you beat him to death. He didn't say, it looks like, based on the injuries I'm seeing on you and the evidence, that you beat Chief Miller to death. He did not say that. He said, it appears he was beat to death. I'm a hillbilly. Country bunkin'. Can't solve a crime right to save my life. Gomer Pyle. And now we got a wrongful conviction, and I was supposed to testify for him. And for the 4th time, since I can't prove anything, you wouldn't let me do that. And you think everybody just fell off the turnip truck. And they did not. They did not. You're pissing people off with insult of their intelligence and the wasting of their fucking time. And the whining and the nagging and the threats and the demands. And you're in a state where you don't live and we're never, ever invited. And so we get more every time you do. This is an email dated March 2nd, 2020. Mike Neely did not do it. He was drugged. This is a deposition taken in May after this that says Mr. Neely was found unconscious and in respiratory distress and dying of opioid overdose. So we gave him Narcan. They didn't say he'd appeared to have been knocked out in a fight. They didn't say that at all. What they said is, it appeared to us he was drugged and dying of opioid overdose. And with our medical training, we made the determination to give him Narcan. Then guess what? He came to. It worked. The diagnosis was correct. Because if they had given him Benadryl or antacids, the same thing would not have occurred. he would not have come to, because that diagnosis would have been wrong. I mean, I'm just saying. So the Muffin Man was not there for Mike or me. So now when people run around calling, well, the Muffin Man said, and I don't care. I really fucking don't care. Have a nice day. That never happened before either, probably, I'm guessing. I'm supposed to testify for him. My name's right here. On this document, court document. What does that say? Can you still read? With your Huntington's, whatever. That's the arrest report. There are no injuries listed on this, but except for a red, swollen right hand, which has an IV needle in it. Oh, might that be why it's red and swollen, Detective Dum Dum? Barney Fife. I don't know. We don't have puppets and crayons, sir. We're not special education teachers. You're going to have to keep up with us. We're not going to slow down for you. Alright, so we're tired of this crap. We're sorry. I'm sorry for the snark, but everybody's so tired of this. I don't like you, Charles. You're a criminal fuck. And nobody's done more to help catch your crime and put a stop to it than me. And you always forget who it is you're talking to. But we heard you all night demanding, put her in jail, take her car, put her in jail, take her car, put her in jail, take her car. Oh my God, here we go again with that. Mark her car. Run the engine. Duly noted for the record. You expressed a hell of a lot of intent today. A hell of a lot of intent. And we typed it all up. And it's emailed all everywhere. And everybody's like, how'd she know? How'd she find out about that? I don't know, how'd she know about that? This never happened before. Or like, happens every day for 10 years. So, I mean, I'm sorry, but you're wrong. It does. Maybe you ought to just fuck off. And act your age. And leave everyone alone. Because when the guy said, back in March 2020, you don't invade her privacy. You don't contact her or her family ever again. And she'd better not be broke. And we sat there and watched you run off all the paying customers from that club where she works, you better make sure they go back. You don't get to hurt them financially and interfere with commerce to coerce anybody, sir. And since we all know Mike didn't do it, get him home to his family. And since you butt into her relationship with her son Tristan and Fabian, you get those two up to Tulsa so they can all talk, and you mind your own business and butt the fuck out, Connie. And she had better not be broke. Period. Quit stealing her money. And you do things like take my taillights out or my headlight. Now I gotta go buy a new one, Calvin. Coming out of your high. They make you pay in ways you've not had to pay before, and they're not even in jail yet. When you contact me, Charles Perry, you never get answers. We do. Because it's highly inappropriate for you to contact me. You have an attorney that you pay $500 an hour to answer your fucking questions. You fuck off. Leave me the hell alone. You fucking weirdo. Leave me alone. Can you not take a blow-off hint? I mean, what the hell's wrong with you? I don't like you. No one does. We get the help you get told on. No one likes you. You are never invited here. We're all sick of hearing you. If I have to hear his naggy, whiny, demanding, look. This is what he said. And you thought you had a choice. And I'm pretty sure he's making sure you know you don't. There were promises made. We are going to put a stop to the human rights violations. We're putting a stop to it. Because it's harming some things that I'm not allowed to get into. And you don't have the right to do that. Aside from the victims, it's harming other things that are far bigger than you and are way more important. And we don't have to tell you that at all. Ever, actually. When you go to jail and you have your criminal trial You want to question how they came up with the evidence? Fine, have at it. Right now, you don't get to know shit. Okay? You've made a lot of phone calls and gotten nothing. And what did I say? Until you give my money back and you get the fuck out of my life and you get Mike Neely home to his family and you leave everybody the hell alone, you're going to get the runaround and nothing more. Did I not say that? Did you think I was kidding? Did you think I was joking? Because here's the thing. He said, when I told him, I'm happy to call him. If he was wanting to waive his right to counsel, more than happy to call him. But, here's the thing. I've already told the guy, don't invade Cindy's privacy, don't contact her or her family at all. She's not to be broken. Mike is going home. Period. Get that club full of paying customers because we sat there and watched you run them off. You fix the problems you caused. Fix it. And if he thinks that I'm going to drop everything I'm doing from getting stuff like this, that we'll use to put a stop to what he's doing and keeping the promise made to repeat myself for him, he's really delusional. I'm not going to repeat myself for that guy. I'm busy. I'm fucking busy. I don't have time. I wasn't kidding. I meant what I said, and there's that. This is much bigger than him and his little, whiny, take her car away, blah, blah, his lie. Way more important and way bigger. And so, I don't have to explain that to him. It's none of his business. He's committing a crime. He is to stop. Period. Because if he doesn't, I'm going to get a lot of this, and we're going to do it for him. We'll do it for him. He needs to act like a dignified person and a grown-ass man. Instead of a depraved, demented, monster. What kind of man rapes a child and then tells the child when they're screaming, you'll get used to it? What kind of monster does that? I don't even know. I don't know. And you thought you could get a date with me? Wow. Or that I would help you with that? You really are cuckoo bird. There's no way. There's no fucking way. If I can just take her car away, cause duress, cause pressure, and you don't know me at all. Have you met me? I mean, you thought I would call you? Did I the first time 20 times you tried to do that, or the one time you did do it? Did I call you? You aren't worth a... What do you think I'm going to do? Sit there and listen to you lie and put up with it? I mean, what in the fuck is wrong with you? That you think I would call you? I moved twice not to ever have to hear what you think or how you feel or what you need. We're all sick of hearing it. Everybody's sick of hearing it. We're getting the help. You're getting told on. It's been that way for a decade. Does the Muffin Man know that? Does a Muffin Man know that? Call one more guy and say the Muffin Man said do it. See how that works out for you. So, everyone is sick of this. I want it stopped. My guys, until you act like you understood him the first time he said it, he's not going to call you. Because he will not repeat himself for you.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey, men. Leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public.
I have to do this real quick. We have to do... Okay, this is the blog. It's got the perjury. It's got Mr. Perry's trafficking. It's got his mental disease. It's got Miss Officer Neely's case dissected. It's got more evidence. It's got my doctor's comments that Mr. Perry was just... The false arrest was a stalking escalation. Right? And that I'm in fear of the crap he does to me. He's taking everything I own. He's had me kicked out of my homes repeatedly. And he's taken or wrecked or ruined my cars. I've had more car accidents and more pullovers since 2019 than if you put it all together than I have in my life. And when you do this shit to me, everything is different. We have your code names. We have your people's names, Charles. Who's Lucius, Charles? Who's Beverly? Every time you contact me, we get more. Creepy Chucky. Who's Betancourt? Why don't you tell everybody about Betancourt? Okay? We get the grand jury open. They got an open court order because there's so much perjury. And so many grand jury hearings. We're going before Judge Parker and Judge Kirkendall in secret. So they got like some kind of open court order on some of that. I mean, it's pretty well defined, but okay, this is the prostitution solicitation Mr. Perry did. Mr. Perry, my answer to you is fuck you and no. I'll never help you. Direct your questions to your attorney. How dare you ask me for help? Don't you fucking do that again. It's typed in my other phone. It's a Pinto. Wow. Wow. Well, how much intel is that going to get us? Because you just pissed our guys off. They're throwing shit right now. He did what? Jesus. Get the fuck out of my phone. This is other audio and video evidence and the motherfucking disclaimer. The but-for standard does fucking apply to every pullover, to any false arrest, to any perjured statement in a court of law. But for Mr. Perry being in Oklahoma and taking out my headlight, I wouldn't have been pulled over. He had to illegally get in my car. We knew before he did that they were going to do that. I sent an email out about it to his attorney. Calvin, it's not the first time you've done it. It's like the 20th. You think people just fell off the turnip truck, Calvin? Lucius? Nobody else suspect a thing. Okay, sure. Bullshit yourself all you want. The fact that I know your names and you're not worried about that shows you're not all there. You just y'all's elevator doesn't go to the top. Charles doesn't work. His doesn't work at all. It's very embarrassing. It's very fucking embarrassing, sir. So everybody's sick of dealing with this. We're getting the help. You're getting told on. Okay? This is the disclaimer. Apply the but-for, the Title 18 of the United States Code 1512 and 1513. And we have this that talks about how stalkers use technology these days, like hacking. Oh, and maybe voyeurism too. $1,000 a day for using my body against my will for your imaginary life. You sick little pervert. Prove you're not doing that. Prove you're not doing it. My utilities, my home, or my car, if I'm living in my car, and the $2,000 a day for doing it without my consent. Okay? You've been sent an invoice. You don't have my consent, and I do expect payment. You understand me? I'm not kidding. This is, we can do it in or out of court. That's your choice. This is what cops are supposed to do, Mr. Blankenship, when you get a stalking report. You don't give it to the offender and then let the offender obstruct justice and destroy evidence. And people think you're horrible that you did that to me. Horrible. We're getting the help, not you. What about Muffin Man? Does anybody ask him what he thinks about what you did to me? Maybe that's why he's not getting the respect he used to have when you threw around the Muffin Man said, and we don't care. Not anymore. He let cops down, so no one cares what Muffin Man thinks. Not anymore.
Leave me alone. I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey, men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them, especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumb ass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior, and you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her, and you need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.
That's okay. I don't care.